Today, as a result of the actions taken since last July, the United States, our friends and allies in the Middle East, in the entire world, are safer because the threat of a nuclear weapon has been reduced. Today, we can confidently say that each of the pathways that Iran had toward enough fissile material for a nuclear weapon has been verifiably closed down. That begins with the uranium path. Before the negotiations began, Iran was adding rapidly and without constraint to its stockpile of enriched uranium. As it committed to do back in July, Iran has now reduced that stockpile to less than 300 kilograms, sending the rest of it out on a ship which has gone to Russia to be processed there. That means that their current level of enriched uranium is 2% of what it was before we completed the agreement, and the rest is shipped out of the country. Iran has also removed a full 2/3 of its centrifuges from nuclear facilities, along with the infrastructure that supported them. They've literally taken it out, dismantled, stored. That includes nearly all of its advanced centrifuges. And the removed hardware is sealed up under around-the-clock monitoring by the IAEA. Iran has now ended all uranium enrichment at its Fordow facility, disconnected all related centrifuges, and removed all fissile material from the site. The second path open to Iran was the plutonium path. Before we sat down at the negotiating table, Iran's heavy water reactor at Arak had the potential, when and if it became operational, to produce enough weapons-grade plutonium annually to fuel 2 nuclear weapons. Iran has now begun the process of modifying the entire Arak reactor so that it will only be used for peaceful purposes. It has removed the reactor's core and filled it with cement, ensuring that it can be never used again. Finally, the third path, the most troubling path in many respects, was the potential for Iran to pursue enough fissile material for a weapon covertly, using a facility not publicly declared. Now, before the talks started, the IAEA did not have assured access to investigate locations at which undeclared nuclear activities might be carried out. It also lacked the ability to track uranium as it was mined, milled, and then turned into yellowcake. Today, the IAEA has put in place every one of the extensive transparency and verification measures called for in the agreement. That means, in addition to the 24/7 monitoring of all of Iran's declared nuclear facilities, the IAEA now has visibility and accountability of the entire supply chain that supports Iran's nuclear program, from start to finish, from uranium mines and mills to centrifuge manufacturing and operation. So today, Iran would need far more than one covert facility in order to try to break out. It would need to develop an entire covert supply chain from start to finish, which experts around the world agree is not possible without early detection. As I said, the steps that Iran has taken to fully implement the nuclear agreement have fundamentally altered the country's nuclear program. 2 years ago, we assessed that Iran's breakout time, the amount of time it took to go from producing fissile enriched uranium to have enough for one bomb, that amount of time has gone from 2 to 3 months where it was. Now, today, we are confident that based on the reductions in its stockpile, reductions in its centrifuges, it would take Iran at least a year to try to break out of the agreement, kick out the inspectors, accumulate the amount of fissile material needed for a single bomb. And if Iran ever did decide to do that, because of the steps that are in this agreement, we would know it almost immediately, and we would have enough time to respond accordingly. Let me underscore, verification remains, as it always has been, the backbone of this agreement. We welcome that Iran has followed through on the promises that it made. It has kept its word, and we will continue to do the same. But we will also remain vigilant in verifying Iran's compliance every hour of every day in the years ahead.